Huh.
All right, so found my little string thing, which was nothing more than a block of wood with a piece of plywood and holes drilled. It's kind of silly to drill all 6, but maybe I don't know why I did that. It's been a long time ago. It was screwed in. This time I just drilled a hole. It will fit over the strap button, and so gonna put pads there, and probably gonna put a pad there. I think, however, I'll probably need to get the strings through the thing before I put them on there. Maybe I need more of an explanation at this point in case you didn't catch the last video on this. Or if they're all blended together by now, I don't know. But this bridge isn't glued down yet, and so what I'm doing is I'm gonna pull the string from here, supported from the back, and just sit on top of the bridge and the saddle, and tune it to pitch and intonate, and to make sure that this bridge is lining up in the right place. So that is what we are doing at the moment. And so I may or may not fast through some of this stuff. I'm hoping to give you a good demonstration of what's going on here without boring you to tears at the same time. Alright, so there's the A string I don't need. I need the E string. Right up through there, and now I need my high E string. It's going to be one of these silver ones. What's the E string? Oh, it's over here. Fall color on the high E string, silver. Okay. I can never remember that. It doesn't matter how many times I do this. I think it varies with gauges, but I'm not positive. Silver. This set, it doesn't say on that side about what the gauge is. What do I do with it? I think this was an 11 or a 12 set here. This is 12 to 53. So the lady that supplied me with this, the lady whose guitar this is, I guess likes heavy strings. So I want to put that there. Actually, there's no way that that piece of wood is going to mar that back of the guitar there, but I will put that in there anyway. And there, and the other thing, I was thinking I might need to put something under there just in case those balls want to go down. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and get the E string. They're both E strings. I'm such a dork. Alright, this whole, you know what, I'm going to turn it around, because this whole apparatus, because this bridge is so thin, they're coming out with it. I did want to bring you up to speed a little bit too on that. I went ahead and thinned that bridge out some more, because when I got over here and ran my straight edge across it, I actually had, I was running into the bridge still. I probably still am. I didn't take that much more off. If I have to, I'm gonna thin it out right on this front edge in front of the saddle. And the saddle's still too high, I know. So in the process of tuning this thing up, I'll have to loosen these up and pull that saddle out of there and probably shave some more off of that to make sure. So, yeah, we're going to go this way, and that way the strings will be under this rather than over it, and then they will actually do something. And slide that in there. I should just tape that on. That would really make no sense. Of course, as soon as I have pressure on there, it won't matter. So now I'm looking for a random piece of tape because my tape dispenser is elsewhere. So here we go, random tape. Alright, so that was handy. Rubber there, back that up a little bit. Alright, let's try getting this string on here. I think it's holding on there okay. That's going to really upset me if it comes flying off of there. Maybe I should put a band clamp around it just to make sure that doesn't go anywhere. Shoot. Yeah, I'm going to put a band clamp on this, and then I might end up putting a clamp over the top of that to push it down. But for now, yeah, I'm going to turn you off until I get that rigged up. Alright, so I raised the camera and angled you down here, and in an attempt to let you still see the bridge. Let me back that out. You can't see it, but there's a band clamper on the back holding this in so that it doesn't accidentally slide up over the peg and shoot across the room and break my teeth in the process and all that. And so now you can see I also have one right here holding this arm down. And so holding some down pressure on the saddle. Now, unfortunately, the saddle is still too high, and I started to shave off the new saddle I was making, and then I remembered I had the old saddle laying here that was probably would probably work. But it's actually high as well. So, because this, I don't have tons of tension on this, and it's just going to get worse as the neck comes up with tension. But I'm at 8, and so I don't think I'm going to get a very good 8/64. I don't think I'm going to get a very good reading on that. So I'm going to go ahead back and shave that other saddle down and put it in. So that we can get a good reading and get this bridge located properly. Alright, here we go. So instead of shaving the whole bottom off the bridge, I just took a quick dirty tactic here and just slotted the saddle down. Saddle is almost, the strings are almost up. They are touching sort of right over the middle of the bridge here. The E string's up a little bit, the fatty, the little small E's down a bit. Anyway, so just checking, just so I know that we're somewhere in the ballpark when we're coming to this intonation. I'm actually at 4/64 on the fat E and in the high E also. So, and I tuned to D. I have the front of the bridge lined up. And while I was in the process of getting the saddle in the right height, I kind of pre-tuned some of this so I know about where it's going to end up at. Okay. So I'm lined up right on the existing front edge of the bridge. fuzz, ever so slightly fuzz sharp. And I'm right on that one. So I'm going to leave it where it is, and then I can file my saddle front to back to adjust for that. The fatty will ramp it back. So I'm just a little bit farther back on the saddle. Right now I'm coming right off the front of the saddle, and I'm good. And but I'll leave that the front of the saddle on the high E string, and then I'll shape the saddle so that it tracks. If you're not making any sense at all. If I come off farther back on the saddle, that E string will be right where it needs to be. So there we go. I'm going to tape this in position right now where it is, so I know where it's going to be. Then I'll on the front edge, and then on the I'm going to line my strings up on my board side to side, and then tape the ends, and then tape the back. Then I'll be able to remove the finish I need to remove to get a perfect glue job on this thing, get everything, all the old glue scraped off, and any finish that is in the perimeter of that. So, all right, that is it, and I think that's it for tonight. I'm wore out. I'm gonna probably call it a day after I tape this off. See you guys. Have fun. Go build something, make dust, do whatever. So I can, you know, kind of feel around in here, and what's happening is, if you know bracing, you've got the X brace that comes through here. Then you've got these little sound hole supports that kind of come off the X brace, and then they go up. You've got a cross piece that's literally right here, and you can probably, well, I don't know in this light if you can see that or not. Let's see if we can get some light to the end. Yeah, let's try it this way. From this side, you've got this brace right there. So in fact, what you see that just looks like the light shining in there is the light hitting that brace, and so it goes right across there. So this little support piece that comes from here, from the X brace over to this front bar that goes across right here. I haven't studied acoustic guitars enough to know what that's called. Anyway, it's just this big flat brace that goes there. They got another one that's flatter that they call, I think they call it a popsicle stick brace. It goes through here. But anyway, so I've just got, pretty much what I'm going to do is see where these intersect. These two braces intersect. I'm going to just point probably right about here. So I'm going to want to do is cut a cleat and then cut that angle on it so that I can get a little farther away from the crack. Let's pull you in a little bit. Okay. And I don't know if that's helping or hindering here. More light, too much light, too much light. Okay, maybe like that. So this dark line you see is the repaired crack. And so I'm going to, the apex of these two braces is right around where my finger is pointing. And so depth wise, I know my hand's in the way now. Just measuring back into there, I'm not quite 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to cut a piece that's 5/8 of an inch wide, the length by the length, because I'm going to cross grain this. Okay, I mean it would be like that if it was perfectly cross grained, but that will help. So I'm going to make this 5/8 wide, and then I'm just going to cut it about an inch long, and then I'm going to get inside and just try to trace the angles and see what we can do and come up with getting that tucked in there nicely. And like I said before, it's easy if you're looking down from this direction in the playing position to see an extra little piece of wood right there. So I'll probably angle that back a little bit. All right, I'm going to go cut this, and then I'll come back.